Share the love, embracing the differences like hand in glove. Spreading peace and joy, it's a beautiful sight. Together we shine in each other's light. Together we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world in love and light. Hearts beating out peaceful flag. Colors of harmony, painting the night. Together we stand in love's pure might.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to News at Noon. We're starting a little bit early as we prepare for the Nolan Wells press conference. It should be happening anytime close to noon. We do not have a distinct way of tracking down the proper way to view it, but right now we're going to focus on Ben Crump's Facebook page. As you guys come in, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. We look forward to Bombshell information today. Perhaps a lot of the myths will be cleared up in regards to this case. We look forward to it tremendously. We also say thank you. We had some 47,000 people tune in this morning to check out the video we had in regards to the boat and trying to assess and break down just how things occurred on July the 4th. We know looking back is often difficult, but I think we're starting to find out more and more each day. So that's why this press conference that will probably start in about 7 minutes or so should be vital to helping us come to a reasonable conclusion as to what happened to Nolan Wells. So right now, we don't have a definite link, but I'm pretty sure as we get to noon, we'll probably discover the way to tune in. Again, thank you guys so much for all the support. As we prepare for this, it's only going to happen in a few minutes. I want to show you guys a brief snippet here. So just give me a moment. I'm going to pull up something for you. Again, what do you guys think in regards to this case so far? We'd like to have you put it in the comment section as to your viewpoint and how do you see things shaping up. Do you see this as being something more nefarious, or do you see it as being something more of an accident when it comes to Nolan Wells? Have you listened to the audio? How many of you guys have listened to the actual audio? Are you one of the individuals that believe that there's not really anything in the background? Where do you stand? Are you an individual that has listened to the audio and you feel that something fishy is happening on this boat based on the audio and also the timing and the location that we've been told as far as when this call was made to CETO? All of this is very important information. I want to just show you something as we're waiting. I want to show you this. We have about 6 minutes, so we're going to see. But let me show you this here and see what you think about the potential lawsuits that are starting to develop, because people are starting to name individuals specifically as being involved with this incident with Nolan Wells. So let's see, what is the issue here? Okay, here we go. I'm going to play this for you now, and I look forward to seeing your viewpoint on this.
This is WLOX News Now at 6. Your news for South Mississippi starts now.
First tonight, new developments in the Nolan Wells case, focusing on legal moves by the Wells family and the family of another young man who was on Horn Island July 4th. Parker Boyd joins us now in the studio with what we're learning today.
Hugh, legal action has now been taken due to social media threats. Just hours ago, a cease and desist was sent to a content creator by the family of Bart Edmiston Jr., who was also on the island on the 4th. It accuses the creator of making, quote, numerous false and defamatory statements about Edmiston on social media. The family's attorney says those posts have led to death.
So when it comes to the particular video or actually the audio. Some people are saying, well, we hear somebody calling the name Bart. So people actually started to run with the narrative about Bart. So now you get a chance to see that Bart is actually pushing back, saying, listen, I didn't do anything to Nolan. And we see that this cease and desist has already been sent to an individual. It looks like it's a female because it starts off the letter, even though it's redacted, it says Miss. So some female has already taken on the heat in regards to this case. Let's get back to it.
Threats, which have been reported to authorities, including the FBI. The Wells family has also posted about threats they've received since their son's death. The FBI confirms to WLOX it's looking through those threats. Wells' parents are now demanding records from social media, location sharing, and messaging apps on Nolan's phone. Subpoenas went out Tuesday, giving those companies 21 days to return the data over to the family's lawyers. The Edmiston family released a statement alongside the cease and desist, telling everyone that their son is not a suspect and saying he's cooperated with law enforcement willingly, even helping identify witnesses.
Okay, so already we have people going back for various legal reasons, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted in regards to this. I found a way to pull up this actual press conference, so bear with me. We're going to take a few moments to pull up the actual press conference, and then we'll get back to it for whatever remaining time we have before it actually kicks off. So here we go. Again, guys, hit the like button, share, and subscribe as we wait to hear. We're actually going to hear about 3 different cases here. We have Nolan Wells, Daniel Irving, and the other guy's Smith. I wonder if he's related to me. But anyway, we're going to see how all of this develop. By the way, his name is Tyler Smith, if you haven't heard about the case.
No, it's good. It's good. Thank you. I said it was good.
I know, but their cameraman is.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's their camera.
Last mic check. Mic check. 1, 2. Thumbs up. Good mic check.
That one too.
No.
Guys, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Also, if you could hit the hearts or what have you, continue to hit the hearts so we can stay in the algorithm. Thank you.
As long as he turns it 45 degrees to the right, it should be.
What? Try again. Okay, that one. Good. There goes. Okay. But Nolan is.
We have boots on the ground. I believe they're in Nashville, Tennessee, by the way. So that's exciting.
She's probably supporting her reporting term.
What? Yeah, right. I know.
Now they moved the middle one. Now it's got the glare on it again. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just we're all. The middle one now has the glare again. I'm sorry. It was perfect earlier. The middle one, angle it a bit more towards the.
We're actually tuning in by means of the Associated Press. We also have an individual boots on the ground, Selena Charles. So I covered Carmelo Anthony case with her. Excited to have the inside scoop. So amazing.
That's
The
fine.
faces and the glare. So it's a shoot a little bit wider so she can punch in. So I'm trying to center. Yeah.
I got a shot of it. It'll be fine. I don't want to. I'm not. Like if anything, you get oh, it's okay. I appreciate your help. Thank you. It's fine.
You guys see that Tyler Smith died on July the 4th, 2026 too. This is something. Daniel Irving passed away on April the 17th, 2026. All similar cases. That's right, Tania. They all should be here. Thank you, Jeff. Guys, we have Deborah in the building. Also, Stella. We have Sophie's World. Thank you guys so much for all the support. We also have Mustang in the building. And Sayla, good to see you. Good to have you here too. Thank you so much. M. Wallen. We see a lot of people. Nancy is in the building. All right. There's Selena. I see Selena.
only have like families of whoever, but I don't have the actual
Shout out to LD Wankin. Thank you. X Rhino. Good to see you, Patrick. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you.
So are you working for the Urban League or are you working for the station?
CNN.
Oh, okay. I guess like 7 minutes. I guess that video. Yeah. Next to you. 5 7 minutes. 7. Where are you based out of?
I'm out in Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah.
They called me at like 4:30 yesterday afternoon. I was already on overtime, so I'm like, sure, I can go.
Yeah.
Which places to go? They took somebody to Washington.
I've got some colleagues that are in South Carolina that can cover it, move around, you know. Long.
At home we have a pool. And the only time I'm comfortable outside is when I'm sitting in the weather.
Shout out to Timothy. Nice to have you here.
I mean, I noticed it's like 4 degrees warmer here. I don't know what your humidity is, but we're like at 99%.
Good to see you, Carolina girl. Thank you.
Usually they can get for altitude conditions.
started off that way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Put a one in the chat if you think Nolan Wells lost his life due to an accident. Put a two if you think it was something nefarious. In other words, someone hurt him or took his life. Put a three if you're not familiar with the case at all.
Like it's
The good thing is, I mean, I'm ready to leave. Give me a buyout.
they do.
Usually, I mean, it's not to say that they don't get rid of people, you know.
Wow, we only have twos. Everybody feels that his life was taken. Wow, how sad.
Already have 2 knee replacements before the hips go.
Mustang is not sure yet. I understand. Okay, M. Wallen says a combo of many reasons. Accident being hidden is my guess. I could definitely see that. Okay, Patrick went with nefarious. Okay, thank you. Sophie's World says nefariously, I guess. Miss Shay says nefariously, I guess. Leg 2 says that. Everybody, Tania, thank you. Timothy, all are choosing that something happened to Nolan. He was hurt or obviously killed in some way. Now, I was under the impression it started at 12. Maybe some people are seeing something different, but hopefully it starts at 12:15, I'm hoping. I delayed my whole occasion in the city today recording to do this, so as soon as it's over, I'm out of here. Tonight at 8 p.m., we have Mama Flips in the building. She's going to raise Cain. She's upset about a lot of things, and she wants to tell everybody about Trump and also about Nolan Wells, what she thinks is happening. So it's always great to have Mama Flips in the building. So that'll be tonight at 8 p.m. Believe me, you want to be in the building for that, right? You want to be here. Tomorrow morning, bright and early, because I really have to get back to news at noon, I'm going to cover how the media, I'm going to show you how the media is doing the same thing that Officer Tatum is doing. A lot of people get upset when I call him Officer Tatum. They're like, well, he's not a cop. Well, that's his name on YouTube, so I respect it. I actually like the guy. A lot of his material. I think he's doing a great job on Tyler Robertson because there's some people out here spreading false information. I just don't like covering so many murder cases. After a while, it just brings down the morale. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to cover the ones that I can, but I'd rather be doing news at noon talking about Trump and the government and all that good stuff, just trying to make sense of what's happening. But we do have these cases that are very important. So the ones that I feel like I can make some sort of difference, then I'll cover those. All right. I can't do David. There's nothing about David. I can't go sit in court and see those folks. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I think Chris Brown would be a fun one. I was hoping to get a full trial for Chris Brown, but I'll only get to go to his sentencing. For some reason, he chose to plead guilty. I guess they must have had him on camera. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, here they go.
Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Daniel Murray. 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 Justice for Tyler Smith. 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 Justice for our black children. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me say how much I appreciate you all coming out for this important media conference. We have organized this press conference for a few purposes. One purpose is because we want the world to know that the National Urban League and all of our affiliates and members and supporters across the country are standing with these three families. And when families suffer the tragedy of the loss of a child, it gets lonely. And when families suffer the loss of children under circumstances that are suspicious and to the naked eye appear unjust, we must stand with these families. When families face the challenge of a non-responsive criminal justice system, we must stand with these families. With this giant of a lawyer and advocate over the last 15 years, going all the way back to Trayvon Martin, we have stood with Ben Crump and his clients. And we have stood with Ben Crump and his clients because we want the community to know that we are not going to be silent in the face of injustice. Amen. You and I cannot even fathom the pain of these families. I want to thank them for their courage, for being here in public, under the glare of the media, in these circumstances. But we want them to know they are with family. we're standing with family. So Ben Crump is going to bring us all up to date on the latest facts, events, and status of these 3 cases. And we are going to continue, as we said in the earlier session, to advocate until there is justice for these 3 families. And we will not be silent. We will not get tired. Amen. We will not get distracted. Amen. Until justice rolls down in these 3 cases. Amen. So I'm proud to introduce a man who is known as the Attorney General for Black America. And I dare say he stands with the great lawyers that our community has produced. Thurgood Marshall, Constance Baker Motley, Johnny Cochran, and I can name so many others, who over the years have been advocates for our community in many, many ways. So ladies and gentlemen, the next voice you are going to hear is from one of America's great lawyers, someone who is giving voice to the families and the victims of injustice. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Crump.
Thank you to President and CEO of the National Urban League, Mark Morial. Please give a great round of applause for him not thinking it robbery to invite the families to be here at this great convention. We are so grateful to him and the others in the civil rights community for standing up like they have stood up in the past. And just like we got justice for George Floyd, just like we got justice for Breonna Taylor, Lee Merritt, just like we got justice for Ahmaud Arbery, we gonna get justice for Nolan Wells. We gonna get justice for Daniel Irvin. And we gonna get justice for Taylor Smith. And the large part is because you all are not afraid to speak truth to power. Thank you, Mr. Martin. Again, I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Lisa Park, Attorney Eric Hertz. We are here fighting for the family of other great lawyers, for Nolan Wells. We also have present with us the family of Daniel Irvin, who many of you are just learning about outside of Dallas, Texas, and his tragedy. We have Attorney Sean DeRaya and Attorney Brooke Cluse fighting to help that family get justice, and we want to applaud his mother, Tamika, who has been fighting as only a mother would fight, with not many people in the world listening. But we're listening today, Tamika. You are not alone, Tamika. You got Nolan's mother and father, Christine and Elmore Wansley, who are standing with you as well. Tamika, your daughter is here. You are not alone. God, please let her know she is not alone. Justice for Daniel Irvin. Attorney Harry Daniels, we also have the family of Tyler Smith, Lexington, Kentucky. You're going to hear from all these families. You're going to hear from Tyler's mother and especially his grandmother. You know, until the lawyers get there, until the community advocates get there, a lot of times these families are just by themselves, President Mariel. And thank God for this mother and this praying grandmother who refused to let them sweep the death of her grandbaby under the rug. And so I will say briefly about each of these tragedies. Obviously, many of you know about Nolan Wells. And you'll hear from his mother and father after brief remarks by Attorney Hertz and Attorney Park. But we all know July 4th, Nolan Wells goes with friends, celebrating the 4th of July. All the friends come back. Nolan Wells tragically washes up on the shore 2 days later, dead. And so we know all the current events that have been happening. We are announcing that we have the audio from the officials, and we have retained and are consulting with some of the foremost audio engineering experts to review those audio tapes from the Sea-Tone call in its entirety. We also, and Attorney Hertz may go into greater detail on these matters, have consulted President Mariel with oceanic engineering experts to talk about how these facts are lining up. The fact that they say Nolan's body was found in the same location where they say they left him at. And so we want to know, how is that possible with the oceanic tides? We want the experts. I mean, you got low tides and high tides. It's not adding up, so we are going to dot every I and cross every T until we find out what happened to Nolan Wells.
I'm sorry, the sound they have is horrible.
Attorney Hertz will also go into a little more detail at Attorney Park about how we're trying to coordinate with Dr. Roger Mitchell, who conducted the independent autopsy of Nolan Wells, to be able to inspect his throat that was missing with his body when he was flown to do the autopsy with Dr. Mitchell. Also, we are hopeful that they will discuss with Dr. Mitchell the photographs and observations made at the time when Nolan was first discovered, because Dr. Mitchell did not get an opportunity until July 10th to be able to examine his body. And at that time, we know the airways and the lungs had already been dissected and so forth, so we can't tell if there was the presence of water or not. That would suggest whether he drowned or not. And remember what Dr. Roger Mitchell said in his autopsy. President Mariel, he talked about the fact that to say he drowned does not draw the conclusions of what happened to Nolan Wells. He said it is equally important to know at what condition was Nolan Wells' body when he went into the water. Was he conscious or was he unconscious? Was he forced into the water or did he go unforced into the water? He said all of these things are very important. And so we are dotting I's and crossing T's. We are focused on getting to the truth, and we stand for the truth. Me and everybody on my legal team stand for the truth, no matter who it implicates or who it exonerates. We stand for justice, no matter who it convicts or who it acquits. And we stand for transparency, so everybody can see. And that's all we want. We want answers. We're not casting aspersions on anybody. We are saying that we want to make sure everybody who is remotely involved has the questions answered to make sure we have a full and fair and impartial and transparent investigation. And is that too much to ask for these broken-hearted parents? Is that too much to ask? That's how, if it was your child, wouldn't you want the same thing? And I get it, they're attacking me, they're attacking Reverend Al, they're attacking the parents of Nolan Wells. We don't care about those distractions. We ain't no waste time. We are completely focused, completely laser focused on getting to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God. And so the threats, the attacks mean nothing to us. We will not be deterred. Look into our eyes. We're going to get to the truth. I am so grateful to Mr. Byron Allen for donating $100,000 to the GoFundMe so we can help get the best experts in the world. I am thankful to Reverend Al Sharpton. I am thankful to Mr. Tyler Perry. I'm thankful to Mr. Tara Owens. I am very thankful to everybody who did not think it robbery to say, what can we do to help people get to the truth and call in to the tip line so we can help not only Nolan Wells' family, but we can help Daniel Irvin's family, and we can help Tyler Smith's family as well. Everybody on social media, please continue to ask questions. Please continue to share photographs, share videos. It all helps us solve this potential of what happened to Nolan Wells. I mean, isn't it so important? Somebody saw something. Somebody knows something. As Christine and Elmore have said, if you're really Nolan's friend, you know in your heart of hearts that if the roles were reversed, that Nolan would say something. He would call and tell what he saw. And so that's all they're asking. Do for Nolan what he would have done for you. Do for Nolan what he would have done for you. Do for Nolan what he would have done for you. Congresswoman Beatty, we thank you in the Congressional Black Caucus. Please stand and join us, Congresswoman. You all asking the questions from the Department of Justice and the FBI. It's important that we have the full weight and force of everybody who has any kind of authority to be able to help us get answers on Nolan Wells and the other 18-year-old black boy. Now, before I bring up the lawyers, I just want to say a word about Daniel Irvin and about his case, and you will hear from Attorney Sean DeRaya, and after you hear from his mother, Tamika. So similar in what they're saying about Nolan Wells, and that is her 18-year-old son, President Maria, Congresswoman Beatty, two young white teenagers come, pick them up from their house, leave, they go on, I guess it's an alleged fishing trip. Her son, I guess they are saying, accidentally drowns. But his two friends then throw away his clothes, right, Sean? Throw away his cell phone, go and delete all the text messages between Daniel Irvin and them, and then say nothing. If it's an accidental drowning, why wouldn't you come to his mother and tell her he drowned by accident? Why wouldn't you go to the authorities? Why wouldn't you go to somebody and say there was a terrible tragedy, he accidentally drowned? But no, they gonna throw away all of the evidence that is germane to finding out what happened. And it's only after his mother raised all kind of hell, and for 4 days they are searching for what happened. Minister Dominique Alexander and the activists in Dallas, they said, no, something happened to Daniel Irvin. We got to get to the bottom of this. Then and only then, Mark Royale, does the young people come forward to the authorities with their parents, and they say, well, we were there, and they confessed that they threw away his cell phone and his clothes, and they deleted the messages. And so law enforcement charged and arrested him after 3 months. 3 months passed, not until Nolan Wells started making the news did they finally come and they arrest them, but not for the death of Daniel Irvin. They arrest him with tampering with evidence, and that's it. And what his mother is saying, what Attorney DeRea is saying, what Attorney Brooke Cruz is saying is simply this. If they would lie about his cell phone and throw it away, if they would lie about his clothes and throw it away, if they would lie about deleting text messages between Daniel and them, how can you believe it when they say it was an accidental drowning? They need to take this case to a grand jury. And you're going to hear from his mother talk about other things that don't add up, about the conduct of the boys immediately after the drowning, the alleged drowning. It's so critically important that we remember Daniel Irvin as well. And then Attorney Park, Attorney Cruz, talk about Tyler Smith, and I'll just try to paint the picture real quickly for you, and then you'll hear from these parents, these broken-hearted parents. 4th of July. You can't make this stuff up, Congresswoman Bailey. Attorney Daniels, 4th of July, same 4th of July 2026 when Nolan goes missing. Tyler Smith in Lexington, Kentucky is the only black person in the home where they're having a 4th of July small house party. Somehow, Tyler ends up being shot in his head, dead. 911 is called. They come, the police get there. They tell them that he shot himself, that they were playing Russian roulette. That's what they say. They say, there's the gun. The police retrieve the gun, and then they take their word as the gospel that he shot himself. They don't do gunshot residue on the hands of Tyler or nobody else. I mean, basic investigation 101. If you say he shot himself, when you bag his hands and when you test it for gunshot residue, but they don't do that. And you're going to hear from his grandmother and his mother as to the explanation, the implausible explanation that they offered them. And the fact that the gun, President Mariel, that they claimed he used to shoot himself with, the police, after they do analysis, it does not match the cases that they found on the floor to where he shot himself at. So still, they are taking their word for it. And it's 7 days later, right, Ms. Lindsay? 7 days later, after they did say 2 hours in the house, they have to identify everybody who was in the home. And then they have to track down, well, if this is not the gun that caused the death of Tyler Smith, well, where's the gun at? So they have to go investigate, and they go surround one of the young men's houses, and they surround the house. He doesn't come and volunteer after knowing that they're trying to find out and get evidence about what happened to Tyler Smith and come forward voluntarily. They have to go to his house and surround it, and then he comes out and finally he volunteers that this is the gun. Think about that, Kathleen Tree. Just think about that for a second. You would think, after all of that, he is surely going to be arrested and charged with killing or being in some way responsible for the death of this 18-year-old young black man. But no, he is only charged with tampering with evidence, correct, Ms. Neesey? Nothing more. And nobody in all three of the questionable deaths of these 18-year-old young black kids, nobody has been held accountable in any way. And so that's why we're here, saying that we are not deterred. We're not going to let you sweep it under the rug. We're going to get to the answers of what happened to Nolan Wells, what happened to Daniel Irvin, and what happened to Tyler Smith. 3 18-year-old black boys in a 3-month period around 4th of July, 2026, who all were unalive in very similar ways as Nolan Wells. And I'm very thankful to his parents for using the attention that they were given and blessed with to also give attention to these other 18-year-old black boys. Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much, Elmore. At this time, before we get to your questions, you're going to hear briefly from Attorney Eric Hertz and then Attorney Lisa Park with some updates, and then you'll hear from Nolan Wells' parents. Attorney Eric Hertz, it's great to see you.
Thank you for showing up. I have some brief updates on the Nolan Wells case. We have been working with the district attorney. We've gotten a letter back yesterday, and she's willing to listen to some of the evidence we have, although we're having to still discuss her giving us back evidence. And that's something that we will see. The phones, not just our client's phones, but the other phones that are involved in this situation, we are trying to coordinate and have come to a tentative agreement with the district attorney to go ahead and have them investigated together jointly with our experts as well as their experts. And I believe, if I'm not speaking out of turn, the FBI is going to also be present there. And that's going to show a lot of stuff that we haven't seen. I'm going to keep it short, but as I always say, I would like to say one more time, society is judged by how the most powerful treat the most vulnerable. And justice will prevail. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Eric Hertz. And now you will hear briefly from Attorney Lisa Park, who heads up our Atlanta, Georgia office, and has been leading on this case.
So today I just want to recognize all of these families for coming here today, traveling here to Nashville, even family that's here in the audience. If you think for just a moment, for these tragedies, they really just happened. They really just happened. If you've never had a loved one that you've lost, it's hard. And you feel like going into a quiet place by yourself, mourning, grieving, doing all of our own religious rituals, right? And so it's quite hard that these families have had to come into the spotlight to stand up for their children. This is not where they want to be. And for those people who somehow think that they want to be in the spotlight, I guarantee you, this is not where they want to be. For all of these families, for every single family member that is suffering through these losses. So I want to commend all of these families. I also want to commend them for coming together as a group, right? Because all of us, we are stronger together. We are stronger together. And there are so many unanswered questions for all three of these cases. But there's hope. And I see that hope because we do get calls. We have been getting over 100 calls a day. And I want to thank everybody who's called in. Because for every time there's a hater that's saying that these people just want the spotlight, when somebody calls in with some encouragement, when somebody calls in with some information, it makes up for that. Because we know that we're stronger together. These questions, these cases can be solved, and we can do it together. So I want to thank everybody for calling, right? But last thing, I want to encourage those who have not called yet, and you know that you have some information. One, I know that it's scary. I know that you may be scared. But if there's a time in your life to do the right thing, this is it. And you just have to be brave. And go ahead and please call us. These people, we need you. We need you. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Clark. And as Nolan's mother and father get ready to come, I cannot express to you how encouraged we are that we're going to get to the truth. I mean, so many things are coming to light, and we're going to get to the truth. We are not trying to cast aspersions on anybody. We want the truth. We want the truth. That's what we want. And like we said, if that implication or exonerates you, then you got to talk to your Lord. You got to talk to your God. But we want the truth and nothing but the truth. And if it was your child, you would want the same thing. And so that's why everybody who got children, you could understand the pain, that agony that this mother and father have been dealing with since 4th of July. How people came, time within hours of finding him saying, well, no foul play, just gone. How do you tell somebody just go on when my son is dead and nobody's giving us any answers? All those people out on that island, and you mean nobody knows nothing? Nobody saw anything? No, we refuse to accept that nobody knows nothing. We're going to get to the truth. We're going to get to the truth. We're going to get to the truth. And it's starting to come to light. Because truth is light. And we're going to get to the truth. Y'all give it up for the mother and father of Nolan Wells, Elmer and Christine.
Thank you all for being here today. It has been 27 days since we have been able to talk to our son, to hug him, to tell him we love him. This has been the most difficult time we have ever had. I want to tell you who Nolan was. Nolan was a God-fearing, God-loving child. He loved everyone. He was the person who would just make you feel comfortable just being in his space. He was never one to exclude. He always wanted everyone to be happy, to feel good, to have purpose. He would lift anyone up. It didn't even matter if he didn't know you. If you took that moment to just tell him a little bit about yourself, what you wanted to do in your life, right then and there, Nolan would be your biggest cheerleader. Today we are begging, because I'm not too proud to beg. We are begging, if anyone knows anything, his friends, strangers, please call the hotline, because we will not be able to rest until we get answers. But please understand that all of these distractions, these other questions that people, the attacks that people have sent our way, just know we will not be distracted. We are ready to do whatever we need to do as his parents to continue advocating for him, because Nolan is not here. He is not here to speak for himself. He is not here to tell us what happened. So again, we will not rest until we get answers. And if you know something, You need to let us know. Please do not be afraid, okay? Thank you all so much again. We truly appreciate your love and support.
I'm faced with a new challenge every morning, waking up, trying to process this. It's the biggest challenge I've ever had. I pretty much was raised up like a lot of you. I didn't have a lot, but I always said I wanted to give my children more than what I had. And I think me and my wife did that. We raised Nolan to love everyone, be kind to everyone, because it was just the right thing to do. I got a lot of stuff going, but what I really want to say is, like my wife said, if you know something and you are really, if Nolan was really your best friend, or for the people who say that he was their friend, please come forward and tell us what you know. All we want to know is the truth. We're not blaming anyone. We just want to know the truth. Any parent wants to. Also, the disrespect that's been coming toward my wife and my family. For any parent, no matter what race you are, they need time to grieve. A parent can't grieve when you have people attacking them, attacking their jobs, attacking their character, just attacking them, period. Like, where's the empathy? We, as Americans, this is a diverse country. Not one race made this country. We all made this race, made this country. So we all need to come together. And like I said, if you know something, please come forward and just call our attorneys, give them information, and they'll take it from there. Just help us out, and not just us, but all these families need answers. Anyone with information on any one of these cases, please come forward. Because being a child is something that you have to do with the rest of your life. Thank you.
Thank you. And President Mario, I would just say the attacks, Christine has been a nurse for years, and she hasn't ever gotten negative reviews. But since she has been advocating to find out what happened to her 18-year-old son after he was washed up dead on Horn Island, sick people have been going on her company's website giving her negative reviews. Can you all imagine anything worse than that? That is a shame before God. They are just sick, evil people who would attack this mother and this father for simply saying, we want to know what happened to our child. Don't worry, Christine. We standing with you. We are standing with you. Yeah, next we're going to have the mother of Daniel Irvin come and talk about her child and tell you what happened in her words, and then you heard brief remarks from attorney Sean DeRee. Attorney DeRee will speak before her, and then we'll have to.
Thank you, Mr. Crum. Tampering charges in this case is absolutely unacceptable. Tampering in itself means that someone intentionally hid, destroyed, or altered evidence. If the district attorney's office has that evidence, take that evidence, put it together, and present it to a new grand jury. And if the district attorney's office doesn't want to do it, we are calling on an independent investigation by the Department of Justice, because we are here for the truth. And one last point I want to add to what Mr. Crum said. Daniel Irving, when these boys said that he drowned, he was a high school swimmer. He was on the swim team. He was a healthy, young 18-year-old male. So that story that he drowned accidentally, it doesn't add up. It does not add up, and we want the truth.
Police and law enforcement are supposed to be protecting and serving. But my question today is, who are they protecting and which communities are they serving? What we want to know is why crimes against Black and brown people receive less justice and less coverage. And I'm going to give you some data to back it up, and I'm going to read it because I don't want to make any mistakes here. Over a 10-year period, statistics show that 53% of Black killings go uncharged, no charges related. And so that means over half of those related killings are never prosecuted. And when you think about arrest rates, 63% of white victims receive justice versus are compared to 47% of Black victims. So when people think we have two systems of justice in this country, the data kind of backs that up. And now we'll hear from Tamika.
My name is Tamika Irving. I am the mother of Daniel Irving. This is my daughter, Azaria Irving. This is Daniel's eldest sister. So what a lot of you guys don't know, to give you like some context, my son told me that he was going to go outside and hang with some friends. Okay, and I was under the understanding that he would be in the neighborhood. So I didn't know where my son was. I thought that he was just visiting friends in the neighborhood. Around 8 o'clock or so, I started to text Mike, call Mike, and Mike was an honorable child. He wanted to serve and protect, be in the military. He loved people. He always had a joke to tell. He was very comical. So I called the police the following day at 12:30 in the morning, and I said, hey, my son ID is here, and his money is here, his social security is here, and I don't know where he's at, and this is not like him, so I'm reporting him missing under suspicious circumstances. The officers were very dismissive. The officers were very dismissive. So I didn't get any information about where my son was. I canvassed the neighborhood. I knocked on doors. I asked neighbors for video footage. I had to do the footwork, the research, the investigating. I had to do it. So to the mothers, to anyone out there who have a loved one, do not wait for the police to do their job. Okay, so fast forward, I reported my son missing. My son was to graduate in May. He was unable to graduate because the two boys murdered my son. They said my son jumped off a bridge, and I know that's not the truth. He was found in water. And not only that, my son was on the swim team. He was very comfortable with swimming in the pool, swimming in lakes. The autopsy report shows my son had an unobstructed airway. So my son did not drown. I want to know why the people that are in place to serve and protect failed to do their job from the very start. When I reported my son missing, it took them 35 hours, over 35 hours to input his information, only in the state system, showing that he was missing. They failed to enter his information in the NCIC, the National Criminal Database. Being my son was under 21, law enforcement had a responsibility to enter his information within 2 hours, and they failed to do that. My son will fight for me, and I'm here to fight for him. I want justice. We are in the pursuit of justice.
Justice for Daniel Irving. Justice for Daniel Irving. Justice for Daniel Irving. And the final family you will hear from is going to be the family of Tyler Smith, who many of you haven't heard of at all. And I want to have his family who drove from Lexington, Kentucky to the National Urban League Convention to say that Tyler Smith, life matters too. Y'all, please give him a round of applause. Tyler Smith, life matters. Tyler Smith, life matters. Tyler Smith, life matters.
I want to thank everyone for showing up today, supporting all these families. I was asked many times, who is Tyler? What does Tyler mean to you? And I had to take a deep dive into that, because to give a few words wouldn't be justice. So I went into my prayer closet, as most names do. And see, Tyler calls me name. And when people ask me to tell them, I find a struggle in finding words big enough to describe who he is. Tyler is charismatic. He's warmth. Tyler is love. Tyler is compassion and tolerance. Tyler is focus and determination. Tyler is an entrepreneur with dreams, goals, and a vision for his future. Tyler is a calming presence, a peacemaker, and a source of comfort to those around him. Tyler is that warm piece of cake straight out of the oven, that soft buttermilk biscuit that the butter glides across the top. Tyler is the depth of a baby's laughter and the warmth of a grandmother's hug. Tyler is what many people spend a lifetime searching for, but never fully find: a genuine soul with a kind heart and a beautiful spirit. For me, Tyler is much more than all of those things. He's my motivation, my determination, the wind beneath my wings. Even in his absence, he continues to give me strength. He has become a part of the reason I stand, the part of the reason that I keep moving forward. When I received that call at 6 a.m. that morning that my grandson had been involved in a shooting, I thought, okay, hand, foot. And I arrived upon the scene of the hospital and found out that this was a gunshot wound to the head. Again, I'm a praying mother. I have a son who a year ago had a near fatal car accident. I know what God can do. You can't tell me what God can do. I've seen it. I watch it every day. I watch him learn how to walk and talk. And I comforted his grandfather and said, don't worry about this. We've already been through this fire. It'll be okay. When the physician came out and pronounced my grandson, and she stated, self-inflicted, accidental, I told her, you're a liar, and there's no truth in it. I explained to her immediately. I said, how do you have this evidence for you to
know this? She said, because they said. I said, they said? She said, yes. As days progressed, my family and I began to move forward. We got none effort, energy at all from the Lexington Fayette County Police Department. We were told that we needed to accept accidental, self-inflicted. They offered no traces of gun residue, even though I called the coroner's office and the police department. And I begged and pleaded, please, bag his hands. No child, and I say child because it's relative, no one was searched on the scene. They took an investigation as a total from all 5 of these young people and said, they said this is what happened. I asked for gun residue on anyone. The answer that I was given, well, there's no need to bag his hands. Everyone in this room would have gun residue on them. That was their excuse to me. When they moved my grandson in an expedient manner, not to our local coroner's office, but to the state capitol, which I was told wouldn't happen until that following Monday. Miraculously, in 2 hours, he was on his way to the medical examiner in the capitol. On Monday morning at 10 a.m., they came back and told me again, accidental, self-inflicted. For 17 days, my sons and I worked tirelessly, investigating everything on our own. The police department gave us nothing, absolutely nothing. They treated me as if I were a pirate, asking all the wrong questions. Why do you need to know? We've handed you that carrot already. Take a bite, settle down. It's accidental, self-inflicted. As I talked to the police chief, I explained to him, he said, well, what do you want from this? What are you looking for? I said, what would you be looking for?
Exactly.
I want transparency. I want you to simply do the job that you were paid to do. My family never asked you for a bird of love. We just asked you to earn the paycheck that you either receive this week or the next. We ask you to simply, the same way you go into our black and brown neighborhoods and you can investigate and you can interrogate and you can charge, give us the same respect. Tyler is loved. He's loved. But most importantly, Tyler calls her mama. Tyler calls me Pepper. That's my baby. He's my baby. It will be my dying breath to say his name. No stone will go unturned. I'm not afraid to go to hell and sit with the devil about my work. I want to know. I want transparency. I want someone to speak on it. Continue to say our names. Continue to say our children's names. We deserve answers. We deserve justice. We deserve transparency. That's all we're asking for. And I thank you all so much for the time and the space that you have given every one of us.
Justice for Tyler Smith. Justice for Tyler Smith. Justice for Tyler Smith. And we're going to get to the truth on Tyler. I promise you, we're going to get to the truth of what happened to Tyler Smith. At this time, President Mario, we're going to ask that the Congresswoman just say a brief word and take questions. Yes, Evans, CBC, thank you all very much.
Let me simply say the two most powerful words we can say. To you as families, to the Urban League family, to you, President and CEO, and my good friend, to you, Attorney Ben Crump. Thank you. But let me just say, the Congressional Black Caucus, we aren't just coming today. We communicated with Attorney Crump, with President Muriel, and we stand with you. And I'll end with your words, Mark. We're going to let justice roll down like a stream and righteousness like mighty waters. We are the Congressional Black Caucus. We stand for you, for justice, transparency, and righteousness. Thank you and God bless you.
This has been moving and powerful. We want to take questions from members of the media. Members of the media, if anyone in the working media has a question for Attorney Crump, then please identify yourself, speak real loudly. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. And that's an excellent question because thank God for us being able to get the national attention on Nolan Wells' case. And that doesn't happen just by coincidence. It's a lot of the civil rights community, a lot of the activists, Reverend Al, people like Byron Allen, Tyler Perry, everybody on social media coming to say, no, this ain't adding up. We got to find out what happened to Nolan Wells. And then we get contacted by our good friend, Attorney Sean Denrea, saying that, hey, we got a similar case, Attorney Brooke, where you co-counsel with us, and Attorney Brooklyn start working with them. And then we get a call to the call center, President Marielle, and I simply can't believe what happened to Tyler Smith. It shocks my conscience. And so Kareem Ali and Cliff Jones, my investigators, they start to investigate. And we're saying, this can't be true. They really didn't do a gunshot residue test on the hands. That's basic. And so it hits me that all of them are 18-year-old black kids that died in very questionable circumstances when Nolan was the only black kid on the boat. Daniel was the only black kid allegedly on the fishing trip. And Tyler was the only black kid at the 4th of July celebration party, house party. And all of them are 18 years old. Look at the dates. That's eerie when you look at the dates. February 8th, Tyler Smith is born. July 4th, 2026, he is dead. Can I see the other? This is Daniel Irvin. He's born November 21st, 2007. He is dead on April 17th, 2026. President Nolan Wells, born August 19th, 2007. He is dead in July of 2026. The date is yet to be determined. All of these young black kids were born in 2007, and all three of these black kids died 2026, 18 years of age, on the cusp of manhood. And I said, no, we got to show that this is not a coincidence that all these young 18-year-old black men are ending up dead and nobody's being held accountable. No, we got to bring the law. We got to bring the law. We must bring the law for these 18-year-old black men.
Let me also our members who were planning to come to Nashville asked me late last week if we would be commenting on, dealing with, shedding any light on the Nolan Wells case. I invited Ben Crump to come to Nashville to brief us on the Wells case. In the course of that conversation, he shared with me, by the way, there are two other similar cases. I said, two other similar cases? I said, Ben, can you bring all of the families to Nashville? Because the thousands of urban leaders who are here are interested in it, have a solidarity with it.
want to hear directly, not through filters, about the circumstances of these cases. And that is what the National Urban League Conference is all about. It is about dealing with the pressing, cutting-edge issues that face the nation and face Black America. So we are here because this is what we do. Yes. Whether it's Trayvon Martin back in the early teens, Michael Brown, George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, Samir Rice, we deal with these issues because our constituency wants to hear directly. And I want to say this, we trust Ed Crump. And we know that he does not engage in chasing false cases. That he also, when he takes a case, that he's going to elevate the word and the personality and the pain of the families. All too often, when Black families are victims of violence and victims of unfair justice system, they suffer in silence. They can't find lawyers with the courage and the ability. They suffer in silence. So I know when Ben Crump has a matter, he is always welcome at the National Urban League Conference to come and bring us up to date. And that's why we're here now. Other press questions? Any others? Yes, ma'am. Identify yourself, please. New York Post.
Yeah, we know about the question. We're ready for it. This attack and this threat to sue us and the family for defamation, it's a distraction. We're not distracted by it at all. And it's about getting to the truth. That's what we want. And that's what we're focused on. We haven't done anything other than ask questions to get to the truth. Okay. Another question.
That accusation doesn't deserve a response. That's right. There's no dignity associated with someone standing up for children who have died. We don't waste our time arguing with donkeys. We don't waste our time arguing with people who want to distract from the real issue. We have 3 dead Black young men under suspicious circumstances. And I don't think the New York Post ought to give elevation to distractions like that. This is such an old story.
I think they asked about the narcotics.
Someone suggests all we want is publicity. You know what happens when we stand here? Our inboxes are filled with hate messages, hate mail, hate this, hate that. No one. Our dignity in standing up. And I'm not, you're a reporter, you work for the paper, your editors told you to ask this question. I want you to know we will not be distracted. And I'm not, Ben Crump is like any lawyer. He should get paid for his work. That's right. Just like every Wall Street lawyer, every Trump lawyer, every insurance defense lawyer.
Okay, it must have been about grifting.
Let's not be distracted. Let's not give oxygen. Let's not give air to haters and distractors and dissuaders. So thank you for your question.
I have boots on the ground, so I'll get the actual question soon. That's her. That's her right there.
I will say this. I will not ever surrender the fact that I am American. However, we celebrate Juneteenth. I don't necessarily celebrate July 4th, but I note it as an important day. And I'm not going to fall into the trap that some want to. I fly the American flag in front of my house. But on the other side of my porch, I fly the Juneteenth flag. And we are not going to let anyone diminish our birthright, our constitutional right, our birthright to be treated fairly and justly in this country. It is very difficult and challenging in these times, but we are not going to be tricked. We're not going to be dissuaded. We're not going to be distracted. I am an American. I am an African American. I am a Black American. And I'm proud to be one. But I think we need to clearly understand that African Americans, Black people, and civil rights leaders have always been the conscience of this country. Amen. Have always been loyal to the nation, even in the most challenging times. And I'm not going to suggest it's easy for us, but what we're not going to allow is for people to marginalize us, treat us like second-class citizens, or suggest that somehow, let me tell you what a true patriot is. A true patriot stands up for justice. A true patriot stands up for the families and the victims of violence. A true patriot holds the justice system accountable, doesn't make excuses for an unjust justice system. So we gotta understand that we're not gonna get tricked and cornered into people suggesting because we stand up for justice, we're something other than a true and full patriot in this country. That's the way I feel. I said last night, I was born in a segregated hospital, born in a segregated city, watched my parents and their friends fight and litigate and march to open doors of opportunity. The reason why these times are so tough and why they're so difficult is because if we are not careful and if we are not vigilant and diligent, our children and grandchildren will be relitigating the battles of our parents. This movement in this country to turn back the hands of time is palpable. So when we stand up for these families, and we'll stand up for other families, and we'll stand up for other people, we're doing it because we are true patriots. We're doing it because we believe in justice. We do it because we're going to hold the justice system accountable. This Urban League movement has a mission. And its mission is something we will not surrender. Like the Congressional Black Caucus says, we have no permanent friends, we have no permanent enemies, we only have permanent interests. So thank you for your question.
And let me say this before I move on to the final two questions. You know, we as African Americans, as W.B. Du Bois said, we have this duality. I mean, on one hand, we know that when the founders wrote the Constitution, they never expected that the rights would apply to us. But like my personal hero, Thurgood Marshall said, I know they didn't intend it to apply to us,
but we're going to make it a protest anyway because we are American citizens. And if anybody built this country, it was our ancestors with the corn in the cotton fields. I mean, doing the things that made this very young country become such a prosperous country at such an early age in its infancy. I mean, when you think about what slavery did to elevate America, that were our ancestors. So, yes, I'm going to celebrate the 4th of July Essence every year because my ancestors built this joint. And then I'm really going to celebrate on the Juneteenth because I know that is what we do to acknowledge our ancestors. Just like Jewish Americans celebrate the 4th of July in their important dates, just like Italian Americans celebrate the 4th of July in their important dates, just like Spanish Americans celebrate the 4th of July in important dates to them. Black people, we celebrate the 4th of July because we built America. CNN, and I want the TV, and then that's going to be it. Go ahead. I have Sean speak briefly to Daniel Irvin, but that's why I was brought in to bring attention to the Daniel Irvin case. Sean and his team and there must be a fight and not getting progress, but we're going to get answers, Sean.
We have not had any progress with the Dallas County District Attorney's Office. We are planning, Mr. Crump and I, to meet with the District Attorney if he will meet us, and we want to talk about this case, we're going to talk about this evidence, and we want to move this forward, and we want murder charges. Is that right, Mr. Crump?
You know, one of the things that Sean and Tamika said, Ryan, she said that there was a witness after the trial that said Tamika, the young man was limping when he came back. And that was part of the investigation. And she said, well, why didn't y'all explore that? Like, why are you limping? You're saying my son jumped off the bridge. Well, that's going to cause you to limp.
Yes, that is true. And there was a witness that provided video footage via flash drive to the detectives. And they failed to enter that information in the probable cause affidavit. The witness also said that the detectives just grossly overlooked that and they failed to enter that information. Again, I know Daniel did not drown, and tampering with evidence is offensive for the murder they committed.
I would just respond to this here on Ryan, okay? And his mother believes her child was murdered. We are still trying to get all the information, Attorney DeRay and I, but she does not believe her son unforced went into a lake, a high school swimmer, and drowned. She just isn't accepting that, and she has a right as a parent to question that. As it relates to Tyler Smith, we're going to have more information coming forward because of the hard work of his mother and grandmother, and we think the shoe is about to drop on that. And we're going to meet with the district attorney. We haven't yet, but we're going to meet with them because people are starting to come forward. And I again thank the parents of Nolan Wells because people are coming forward in their case. That's inspiring people to come forward in Tyler Smith's case as well. So thank you all for coming forward. She had the last name. Okay.
They should have a extra mic. It's crazy.
My message would be that we have to have tough conversations. This is something our community already knows. We have to make sure that, and I know my husband and I, we have had countless conversations with all of our children about the importance of understanding when you are moving in different spaces with people that do not look like you. And it's unfortunate that we have to have these conversations, but they are needed in order to hopefully keep our children safe. So I would say to all the mothers out there, especially my Black mothers, we just have to keep pushing forward. We have to do the things to protect our children.
Thank you, Sophie's World, for the 5 gifted memberships. Hey, Paul.
This is so tragic, but this is why Ben Crump is so important. This is why when families face these types of challenges, they need good counsel. That's right. They should not wallow and try to handle it themselves. They shouldn't just go to community leaders and politicians, although that's important. They need good counsel. They need good civil rights counsel. They need people like Ben Crump or Lee Merritt, and there are many, many others around the nation who do this kind of important work. And I just encourage families that face cases of injustice, cases where they want answers, to work to get good counsel. We at Urban League, our affiliates, we get calls all the time. And what we try to do is guide them in the right direction. We try to help them identify counsel or people, and that is really, really important in the case. I want to confront the question you asked about race. Something in this country, whenever a Black person is the victim of an act of injustice, why is it when we seek justice, we get this smear campaign? That's right. Of playing race card. I have seen this living for many, many, many years. And we are going to call it out because we are not going to be dissuaded, distracted, or intimidated for standing up for members of our community. Let the charges come. I say it's like they're blowing bubbles. It's just a lot of rhetoric, it's nasty, and it's hateful. But you know what I found? Like every loud person attacking us, there's 15 quiet people, yes, who represent silent supporters of justice. They may not speak out, they may not go on social media, but they're in solidarity. We have to remember that. The loudest voices in the room are not the most important voices in the room. Let me thank you all for coming. We've got some other activities. I'm with the power meeting. Let's thank them from, let's one more time. Thank these families for their courage, I want to thank the media for coming out to this press conference.
Thank you, Mark Moriel and the National Urban League.
All right, so I'm going to tell you guys what I think about this, right? I think this is very telling, although it's not what everybody was looking for, right? It was not what everybody was looking for. But I will tell you this. First of all, let me go back to my original setup. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. right. So this is just my opinion based on everything that I saw today. Wow, this is quite the story. The whole story about Tyler Smith, I'm new to that, so I'll have to start investigating, checking out these other cases. But the fact that he had mentioned how they had to basically, oh, Trump is giving a speech. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Okay. We'll have to cover Donald Trump. He's giving a speech right now. All right. So the fact that he says that they hired basically a professional audio person, all of that. And also the fact that I noticed when in the media, you have a lot of professional audio engineers and all sorts of big names floating around, and they're all deliberately saying, we don't hear anything. That tells me something that there's a bigger hand at play. All right. And the fact that he says he had to send it over to the DA, that's starting to shape up to where this thing can go either way. Now, I know everybody's saying, well, listen, I heard what I heard, right? I know what I heard. Okay. I'm about to show you a little bit about what I'm going to show tomorrow. Maybe I should just keep it for tomorrow. But there is a concerted effort to really distribute the information. Basically, listen, we don't hear it. It's a bunch of mumble jumble. It's subject to your own interpretation. It's not enough. There's not enough there. So, in other words, notice they're asking, please come forward. And now that additional 100,000 went toward the GoFundMe. But as far as the money that they're offering for people to speak up, I think that remains around 125, 150. I don't know the exact amount right now. But they're saying come forward. Whenever you hear people pleading to come forward, please help us. That tells you that that's a big cause for concern. It also goes to show that I think personally, maybe I shouldn't get into it, but I'll say this much. If they tend to band together and nobody says anything more, everybody's lawyered up, I think for the most part, we might see a quiet moment in time. So we'll have to see how this all materializes. But it's quite concerning to me listening to what he said after I covered so many cases. And I kind of get a feeling for how some of these things can potentially go. So we'll just have to see how this develops. But I will tell you this. Last night I had Candace Kelly on. She's a defamation expert. And I had heard something earlier in the week that I haven't shared with anybody. But I'm starting to see the fruits of the tree. And basically, what I was told is that you may not get much movement out of this as far as a case go. And a lot of this depends on the toxicology report. And also, we haven't heard about the official autopsy, but we do know that a grand jury is already in motion. So what will happen, though, notice what Candace Kelly said last night. If there's no charges or if they find that nothing nefarious happened, whether you feel like it happened or not, then that's going to create issues for people that have gone as far as saying he was murdered by a said individual. You see what I'm saying? So this is shaping up to be some dark waters ahead. Troubled waters are here. And whether you like it or not, these are things that we have to factor in. I looked out today, I went on to YouTube. The things people just make up. They just make up things. And some of these people have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and they're just making things up. Now, a lot of the things we can really question. And like when it comes to the audio, as he mentioned, rightfully so, you get a chance to question that. Okay. But when you start to end, and keep in mind, I started off this presentation. One of the boys, that's his name, people think they hear his name on the audio. He has already sent a cease and desist. And you know what's coming down the pipeline eventually, especially if the person does not adhere to the warning. So this is very interesting to say the least, how all of this is starting to shape up and come together. It's quite concerning because everybody wants justice, right? Or at least a clear understanding of what happened to Nolan. But when you hear the mother pleading for people to come forward, that tells you something too, especially after they've given money, right? Some of these celebrities have put forth money. It's roughly over maybe under 100, under 200,000, but not even the money is causing people to probably move, and that tells you something too. It may be a possibility that everybody is in one accord. Okay, if you get my drift. So we'll see how all of this develops. Okay. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to come on and show you some very interesting information in regards to this case of how individuals are reporting on it. And it almost seems like it's intentional, right? I never really paid attention to this in my regular days of just living. But now that I cover so many stories, I started to see it's almost like somebody click a button, boop, then all of a sudden the narrative changes. It changed so much that Nancy Grace is out there pretty much on her own now. If you pay attention to all of the people, because you have this thing going now on Facebook and also on Instagram, but you have a few people and they want to be the spokesmen for a particular party, a particular race, if you get my drift. And so they made themselves the spokesman. And let's face it, there's money involved. You never know people's true motives, right? Even in the bare bone moment, even when it comes to a person personal life in every way, and you ask them, why do you do it this way? Well, I always give my girlfriend flowers because it makes her happy, right? But if you look at it at its core, uh, probably the guy would say, well, I probably got the flowers because if she's not happy, I'm not happy. So at the end of the day, the true motive is to, you don't want that feeling. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times we don't go as deep to figure out the motives and why people do what they do. This case is troubling, and I'm starting to see some things now based on what I saw. It wasn't what they said. Basically, I have to agree. This press conference to me did not offer any information, that was so astounding or anything like that. But it tells me of how this is shaping up. Okay. I want to thank you guys. I see that, um, let's see, Sophie's World, I believe, gave 5 gifts. So those that receive those memberships, make sure that you give her some gratitude. You'll have 30 days membership. And she's so kind to do that. And you get a chance to see some of the information that we provide on the back end. Commander says, I don't even want to repeat what I saw and headline on. It's bad. Absolutely. It's just so bad, But I started to see a lot of these people are starting to be on the decline. And I think it's because, eventually if you get somebody that's coming out every day saying the sky is falling, eventually at some point you should come to the realization perhaps the sky isn't falling, right? We all know about that. And Wallen says rich community not probably moved by 150,000. Or yeah, that's so true. Or what you might face behind bars if that was on the table, we don't know, right? But this is scary moments in life. Now we have these other 2 cases, especially the one where the fellow was shot in the head. I will really have to get into that story and try to understand what's happening with that. It's a different gun and all of these type of scenarios. It makes you wonder, what's happening. Quite frankly, these are things that are happening, but they do not go for the mending of hearts or the uniting of people. And I just fear, or I wonder about what's in store for the American people as we get, for some reason, we have a major divide happening right now. And a lot of it has to do with these mysteries of people going missing and losing their lives, especially with not a lot of answers. Did you hear what they were saying about the authorities? That was powerful talk. And that's shaping the next generation as they try to figure out how to navigate through life. Stella says 155,000, but I read that Warren's father put up another 50,000 if I can recall info correctly. Thank you very much. I did see the Warren father put up money for people to come forward too. So that makes you wonder, right? In regards to this case, what does that mean, right? And Wallen says, I saw similar investigation process in all three cases. Okay, thank you. Mustang says Warren's father has put a 50,000 reward. Not sure what to think about that. Okay, especially when people are undecided on who's doing what and why things are not jobbing from so many different places. Okay. The most interesting thing that I've seen so far in regards to this case, I don't know where they stand now, but I'll just say this. Starting off in this case, when it came to the United Cajun Army, it seems that they were very instrumental in helping the mother to find out or at least retrieve her son. They were looking together. According to the United Cajun Navy, the mother asked them to go with her to, identify the body. But from what I gather from them, and they do a righteous work, in my opinion, but they tend to think that there was nothing nefarious, that perhaps this was an accident. I mean, I can't speak for them, but that's what I was getting from the very beginning of this. But then in the same day, the mother would go with Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, and it's the opposite narrative. So when I think about the parents in this case, I wonder how they can navigate when on both sides that they work so closely with them. I mean, I don't know where they are now, but I find that to be interesting. How do you navigate when one side is here, the other side is here, right? The United Cajun Navy says they speak with the mother every morning. I'm pretty sure Ben Crump, obviously, we keep seeing. So far, we've seen, I believe, the parents in New York. They've been in, obviously, Mississippi. We've had a chance to hear from the family of Nolan in Chicago, right, for the NAACP, okay? And so now today we get a chance to hear from the family again in Tennessee. So uh, things are definitely changing. We're starting to see more coverage for cases that are questionable, and especially in the Black community, something that I haven't seen a lot of in my days. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tonight I'll be back on with Mama Flips, and we're going to have a great show. And we're going to break down a lot when it comes to Nolan Wells, but also tonight we're going to focus on the president, President Trump. I typically cover and keep up to date. So I want to get back to that more and more, because a lot of things are happening now that affect our lives more than you could ever imagine. And as many times as Stella has told me to say Eastern Standard Time, I just don't get it. I'm sorry, guys. I have a blind spot for that Eastern Standard Time. So Stella says tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. M. Wallen says, I worry about Nolan's younger siblings. How do they go back to school without there becoming an issue for them? I think it's over for that town. It's time to move on. That's all I can tell you. Just my observation, my opinion. Sophie's World says, peace, love, and light to all. Okay. And Stella is laughing at me, my continued resistance to saying Eastern Standard Time. Okay. One final thing I'll say to you guys in an effort of what I'll be breaking down tomorrow. There's so many videos going around. I don't know if you saw my video earlier today, but I think I broke it down simplistically so you could understand that. And actually, there's even more that has developed since I gave that presentation this morning. But we kind of break it down and show you that this particular ship, it was not, or the boat, it was not right there by the shore, according to Warren. Okay? According to Warren, it wasn't right there by the dock. Well, guess what? I'm going to now, even though we have that, because the way I like to work, right? For those of you that I feel like a lot of people that are here now really follow the channel. These are people that I look forward to every day. We have Sophie's, we got Deborah, we have Commander. We have so many amazing people, obviously Stella and all of our crew, right? But here's the thing about this situation. I try to break things down according to what we know so far, right? I kind of did that with Carmelo Anthony. It is what it is. Even with this case, now I showed you in this guy's own words that the boat was towed out, what, a quarter of a mile, right? So that's his words. But next, I'm going to show you that the GPS tells you something different, right? So I have so much in store for you guys. Just stick around. I will be live tonight. I won't get into all that tonight. Tonight, I like to listen to Mama Flips and her talking points. Okay, so I won't get into all that. Tomorrow, best believe I will be breaking this down for you to help you to understand now that the GPS doesn't map out to what he says. So I have to take you step by step because I have so much to talk about. Let's see here. Deborah says, have a great day. Okay, everyone. Okay, Mustang says, thanks. Okay, Sophie says she loves Mama Flips. Mama Flips is not for everybody. A lot of people, they get frustrated with her, but I know her in real life, and she is just as nice as she want to be. You know, she stands strong, but she's nice, and it's an amazing person, and she gets a lot of attention from even when we were out there on the streets of New York. She was just out there manhandling. Well, I shouldn't say that, right? Well, I'll say it. She was out there manhandling everybody and telling them to get out the way. And, you know, people love it. You know, she's amazing. Stella says this show is not for everyone. Okay, yes, Thursday night is not for everyone. It's only for the brave of heart. Okay, M. Wallen says, thank you, Mel, Mods, and Chad. Okay, so Mustang says, I love seeing her flip out. Tonight she's going to be flipping out. And we're definitely going to be talking about President Trump. That definitely causes her to flip out. Let's see. Ray says, President Trump, that's funny. I don't know the United States had a president. I do know United States have a thief and thug running America. All right. Thank you, Ray. You should tune in tonight and have that discussion or give those talking points to Mama Flips. Have a good rest of your day until 8 p.m. I hope to see you guys back. Before we go, though, what did you think about this press conference? Did you learn anything? Just tell me on your way out, do you feel like you learned anything from this press conference? What did you learn? What do you think? All right, let's see. Oh, my goodness, I didn't do it again. Okay, let me get myself Eastern Standard Time. Maybe that'll help me. I missed it again, folks. All right. Sophie says it was a nothing burger. Okay, thank you. Mustang said nothing. Okay, I understand. All right, so we have, let's see. M. Wallen says, I learned they are not giving up. Okay, that's a good point. All right. Thunder Thursday. I like that, Commander. I like that. Thunder Thursday. All right, folks. Have a great day. We'll see you at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the name of Stella. That's good. Take care.
Different voices, but the same song. Living a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the flame remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. The colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand.